Good morning, afternoon, and evening, Detachment 90. Today we're talking about the wing structure. An overview, we're going to be talking about the wing breakdown and jobs. Starting with the wing structure. In the Air Force, wings are a level of organization consisting of two or more groups. At Detachment 90, we have a cadet wing. Each semester, wing staff will break it up how they deem necessary. Groups will then be broken down into squadron and or directorates. Then it will be further broken down into flights or positions if there aren't enough people. So, for our specific detachment, we have a cadet wing, which is broken into two groups, operations group and mission support group. Operation group will be broken down into two squadrons, and each of those squadrons will be broken into 3 flights respectively, and this will be Alpha through Charlie flight and Delta through Foxtrot flight. This is the group that's going to be in charge of the GMC, training them and getting them ready to become POC. The next group is going to be mission support group. These are the people who are in the background. These are the people that are going to be making the op boards. They're going to be setting everything up. They're going to be making sure we have our uniforms. They're going to be split into 4 directorates. And these directorates are organized very differently. Directorate 4 is going to have a cadet deputy with people underneath them, and then Directorate 5 is going to be special events flight and joint events flight. Then you're going to have Directorate 6, which just has an officer in charge, and then you're going to have Directorate 7, which is going to have 3 different officers in charge. Next up with jobs. Alright, so the first thing that's super duper helpful with understanding the cadet wing structure and all of the different jobs is going to be the cadet wing organizational chart. This should be on Teams, under cadet announcements, and in files. So it's really amazing at showing you, giving you that visual of how things break down. So as you can see at the top here, we have our cadet wing commander, which is Cadet Colonel Straits. And then you can see that the different people that are reporting to her, you're going to have Cadet Colonel Stutzman, who is the cadet wing vice wing commander, and he's going to report to Cadet Colonel Straits. And then you're going to have the XO, who is Cadet Captain Lavelle, and he's going to report to Cadet Colonel Straits. And then you have the cadre aides who are going to report to her. And then you're also going to have the group commanders, operations group with Cadet Colonel Sproul, and the MSG mission support group commander, Cadet Colonel Paraiso, who are also going to report. And then you can see from there it'll be split into the squadrons and the directorates like we talked about earlier. One of the things that you'll hear a lot is wing leadership. Wing leadership is these 4 people. It's the wing commander, the vice wing commander, and the 2 group commanders. And as you can see, they're right here. And those are the people that everything is essentially going to kind of funnel into. And as you go down, this is super helpful. It breaks it into wing staff. Wing staff is going to fall over the vice wing commander, which is Cadet Colonel Stutzman. And as you can see, we have the SRO, IG, and then all of the cadet aides. And then you can see, like, the SRO has a deputy, so the deputy will report to the standardization regulations officer, which is going to report up to the vice wing commander. And then as we keep going down, you get into the operations group, right? An operation group is going to have its deputy, and then it's going to be split into those 2 squadrons. And you're going to see Operations Squadron 1 is going to have its DO, which is the squadron's version of a deputy, but it is the director of operations. And you can see it's broken into the first 3 flights, Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie, with their respective deputies. Squadron 2 is going to be the exact same thing. You're going to have that director of operations, and you're going to have those 3 flights, Delta, Echo, Foxtrot, with the commanders and deputies respectively. Then you go into the other group. So we just did operations group, which is going to handle all of the GMC, right? Mission support group is about making sure the things that are happening behind the scenes are getting placed. So make sure that there's a plan for lead lad, there's a plan for PT, making sure that there's recall rosters and that Teams is being updated and that all of the training plans are in place. Most of that is going to come from mission support group. So mission support group, right, is going to be split into directorates rather than squadrons. And these directorates are going to have different jobs, and you can be able to go into the jobs and duty description PDF, which we're going to go to next, and it'll describe exactly what these directorates do. So the first directorate is A4. It's going to be the logistics directorate, and as you can see, there's a lot less people in it, so you're going to have positions rather than flights. And then for A5, the planning directorate, there's enough people to have flights. So we're going to have the special events flight and the joint event flight. And then that's going to be broken down into people in those flight positions. As we go down, we're going to go to A6, the communications directorate. This, again, is going to be broken more so into positions rather than flights because there's just not quite as many people. A7 is going to be that training directorate, and it's, again, same thing as the last few, not quite as many people, so you'll have flights or positions. And then that's the organizational chart. There are a lot of acronyms and there are a lot of jobs that you probably never heard of that won't make any sense. So what you do is you go over to the Cadet Wing Jobs and Duties Descriptions document, which should be right in the same place that the org chart is, and it is going to go and show you all of the duties and responsibilities of all the POC at Det 90, and that's going to help you understand how it's broken down and what those jobs are. So as you can see, it's broken down into Wing Staff, Operations Group, and Mission Support Group. There are also additional duties that are covered at the end. But as you can see at the very beginning, right, here are all those acronyms, all those office symbols that you had no idea what were. They're explained right here. All of the titles are given, they're given the ranks and the names of the people in those positions. So as you continue to go down, you'll see different things. You'll probably find your flight commander and your deputy flight commander. And it's going to show every single position, and it's going to explain what every single position's name is. Then, as you keep going down, it gets even better. You get the name, you get the position, and you get the job description, the objectives, the deliverables. You get to learn all about what these different positions are about so you can start understanding how things work. So you have the Vice Wing Commander, you have Ops Group Commander, and then you have the Mission Support Group Commander. Like, it just goes on and on and on, and it shows you everything that you want to know. For example, the SRO. What is the SRO's job? It says right here, and it's going to tell you those objectives, and then it's going to tell you, hey, this is what you need to actually deliver. You need to create, maintain, and deliver a cadet activity tracker. You're going to maintain those weekly knowledge quizzes, briefings regarding ORIs and FDEs, all of that sort of stuff. So, in summary, we went over the wing breakdown and the different jobs that Detachment 90 has. I hope this video has been helpful and have an outstanding day.